Welcome to InnerGLOW, the podcast that helps you to ditch anxiety, judgment, stress, and self-doubt, and instead embody ease, confidence, flow, abundance, and self-love. I'm your host, Bhavna Meg, mindset and energy coach, and founder of Stepping Into You. I work with individuals just like you on emotional, mental, and energetic levels to help you to fall in love with yourself and glow from the inside out. This is episode 10. Today we're going to be looking at integrating rituals, healthy rituals into our life, and specifically today we'll talk about meditation. We're so often bombarded with and have awareness of all of these healthy practices that we should have in our day-to-day lives, in our weekly lives, things like exercise, cardio exercise, going for a walk, being in nature, meditating, doing breath work, stretching, yoga, all of these different things. And it's exhausting and overwhelming. So today we're going to be looking at integration. Integration is huge for me, and I'm so focused on how we can build into our crazy hectic lives that we live already, whether that's working a 9 to 5, whether that's running a business, whether that's looking after a family, or all of the above. Whatever you've got going on in your world, it's really important for any level of sustainability of healthy rituals that they are integrated. As always, listen to the end for a great tip on how to get started with integrating meditation into your daily ritual. Let's consider for a moment the benefits that can be gained from meditation and having a regular meditation practice to really understand and connect into why it is that we would want to do this. Some of the benefits across multiple studies done around meditation in different settings include things like increased levels of creativity, intelligence, moral reasoning, being able to recover from stress more quickly, the reduction in symptoms from post-traumatic stress disorder, improving psychological health, reducing the need for drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes, and decreasing levels of aggressiveness, anxiety, and stress, and many, many more. My personal experience with meditation has shown the benefits of increased mental clarity and focus, being much more calm and relaxed, and absolutely being able to recover from stress much more quickly with the tools of using my breath and focusing my mind to a single point. In addition to that, I've had incredible spiritual experiences and incredible physical healing experiences as a result of my meditation practice. Being able to release trauma and stress out of my body through my meditation practice has been a critical and pivotal point in my own physical body healing. So when you have something like meditation that is incredibly powerful in creating body, mind, and spirit health and wellness, creating a sense of peace, having the ability to create healing in your physical body, you've got to wonder how such a simple practice that is literally accessible to everybody, because all it is to meditate is to be still with yourself, is completely freely and readily available to anybody to tap into. Why isn't everybody doing it? Meditation is becoming more and more mainstream, and more people are aware of what it is, if not how to do it. And the how to do it is probably where people fall down in terms of being able to move forward and integrating or even creating a meditation practice. There's often beliefs that to really be meditating, you have to sit for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or even more minutes to really be meditating. And I can tell you that is not true. If you are able to sit for even 5 minutes with yourself, with your eyes closed, focusing on your breath, you are meditating. You have created a state of meditation. You have created a state of stillness. But even sitting with yourself for 5 minutes where your mind has wandered and you've brought it back, and your mind has wandered and you've brought it back, you are practicing meditation. Now, I've been meditating for a very long time, and you could even say that I'm a lifetime meditator. As a Hindu, I've grown up with chants and meditations and kirtans and prayers in all sorts of ceremonies, from blessing the home when moving in, to somebody passing away, to somebody getting married, to going to the temple on the weekends. One of the challenges that I can say that I've had with my meditation practice has been where I've experienced levels of stress, and those levels of stress have really knocked me out of doing the practice. There's a quote that says that if you are too busy to meditate, then that's when you should meditate twice as much. And I absolutely, completely, wholeheartedly agree with this. And I'll tell you why. For a couple of months in a job, I stopped doing my morning gratitudes and my morning meditation. I had a lot of work on, and I was up to my eyeballs in responding to people and managing work and managing projects and doing so much data analysis that I just stopped doing my morning gratitudes and my meditations in the effort to try and save a little bit of time so that I could get to work a little bit earlier, save a little bit of time and get ready faster in the morning and maybe do some exercise to clear my head. What I noticed was that my head and my mind became heavier and heavier and more foggy. And for some reason, I'm not sure what triggered me to start my practice again. But when I started my practice again of doing my morning gratitudes and my meditation, and it was only a short meditation that I picked up again. So maybe, and short for me, so maybe about 15 or 20 minutes. And within a couple of days, I found that I had much more mental clarity. My emotional state was lifted, and I felt more clear and focused and was able to get so much more done through the day. And it had shifted to the state, or to the extent that other people had noticed and had said to me that I seemed lighter or happier or in a better mood. When people outside of you can see how you're changing and you internally can feel how you have changed, then I would suggest that that's a good practice to keep doing on a regular basis, even if it's not every single day. Incorporating a meditation practice into your daily ritual seems to, and certainly for me, have an amazingly incredible effect on my life and my world. Now that you have an insight into some of the benefits of meditation, how exactly do you go about creating and then integrating a meditation practice into your daily rituals? My absolute top tip is to start small. Now, I've literally just said that a short meditation for me could be 15 or 20 minutes, but you can start smaller than this. As I mentioned before, even sitting with yourself for 5 minutes and focusing on your breath, this can be incredibly powerful. Now, I will share that when I had a daily practice of meditating for maybe an hour to 2 hours every morning, I was invited to do a 21-day abundance challenge from Deepak Chopra. And in that challenge, the meditations were about 4, maybe maximum 7 minutes. The first couple of days that I did the meditation, I started to drop into that meditative state that I'm used to going into. And then all of a sudden, the meditation would be finished. And I asked myself, well, how can I possibly get into the same meditation state that I'm used to getting into when I do my hour and a half, 2 hour meditations in 4 minutes? How can I possibly do that? And coming to the realization that time is simply something of our own construct. So I can get into whatever meditative state that I want to in whatever shorter period or longer period of time that I want to. The meditations for the rest of the challenge after those first couple of days were incredibly deep and incredibly powerful, purely because I shifted my mental state around how long I need to sit and meditate for it to be beneficial and worthwhile. Before we continue with the next part of the show, if what I've shared with you today is resonating with you, leave a review. It goes a long way to help share the love with others who are going through the same things and would benefit from the tips and tools to turn on their inner glow. Another way to share the love is by making a donation at patreon.com/steppingintoyou to share your love with me and with others. So here's how you can integrate meditation into your daily rituals. Start with 5 minutes. If you've got a phone or if you've got an alarm clock, set your timer for 5 minutes. And that way you know that you're not going to drift off. You're not going to stop too early to try and check if it's almost over yet, or if you've been able to achieve 5 minutes because it feels like it's been going forever. And you're not going to miss anything on the other side of those 5 minutes because you think you may have run over and you're worried about running over. So this is going to allow you to stay incredibly present. Set your timer for 5 minutes. Then all you're going to do is sit. You're going to sit and bring your awareness to your breath. You don't have to change your breath. You don't have to breathe more deeply. You don't have to do anything. You're just simply going to become aware of your breathing. You're just going to become aware of how you're breathing in and how you're breathing out. And you're going to maintain that awareness and keep your attention on your breath. If your mind wanders, that's totally okay. Catch yourself wandering and bring your attention back to your breath. And keep doing that. The more your mind wanders, or as little as your mind wanders, but every single time you catch yourself wandering, bring yourself and your attention back to your breath. The more and more you do that, the more and more you're training your mind to come back to your breath. And the more we train ourselves to come back to our breath, we're training ourselves to come back to a moment in the present moment. And our breath can be very, very powerful in anchoring us into the present moment. Now, how will you know that you've integrated that into your daily rituals? Well, it'll be 3 weeks later and you're doing it with complete ease. You may still be using your timer, and that's completely okay. If you're wanting to challenge yourself a little bit more, start increasing the time that you're sitting with yourself, maybe just by 1 minute. And this will allow you to continue to experience the state that you've successfully achieved, whilst challenging yourself to sit for a little bit longer. This in itself may create new states of being. So you may experience a little bit more discomfort. You may experience some more wandering thoughts. And that's okay. It's all about, remember, coming back into the present moment and connecting back in with your breath. That's all for today. Let me know how well you're going with this integration practice, and join me next week for episode 11, where we'll be talking about the practice of gratitude. Thanks for joining me today, and be sure to subscribe at steppingintoyou.com/InnerGLOW so you don't miss any glowing possibilities. And if you'd love to support InnerGLOW, you can make a donation at patreon.com/InnerGLOW. Sending you love, hugs, and magic.